response to a particularly disgusting individual, and I'm going to say a bigoted individual, known as the Sprucepantherkmt, as she likes to be known. Now, I'll get to why I think this woman is a bigot, but I would advise before you watch my video, you go and watch her video linked below, aptly called Lara Logan Raped, But Was She? Now, I had a lot of issues with this video, particularly the way you capitalise on the serious sexual assault of a woman, and you make what I consider to be pretty bigoted statements about this woman. First of all, the entire premise of your video was wrong. You're asking the question, was Lara Logan raped? No, she was not raped. She was seriously sexually assaulted, and every news report I have read about this issue has said that she was severely sexually assaulted. No articles that I have come across have said that Lara Logan was raped, okay? So you apparently didn't do any research on what actually happened to this woman before you made this video, because had you done the research, you would have known that she was not raped. Sexual assault is sexual assault. Rape is rape. But let's get to why exactly it is that I think you are a disgusting and bigoted person. You said in your video that Lara Logan, because she was a white South African, was directly incriminated in apartheid. Lara Logan, because she is a white South African, is directly implicated in the oppression and in the discrimination against black South Africans. Let's negate the fact that when apartheid was finally being dismantled, Lara Logan was barely an adult, okay? She was a child who grew up in apartheid South Africa, but of course that still means she's directly implicated in the abuse of black Africans. And you also negate the fact that Lara Logan has spoken out in the past against apartheid. Here is a statement Lara Logan herself made about growing up in South Africa. You have this sense all the time, she says, that just beyond your reach there was the truth. The government protected us from that very, very heavily. I believed enough that the world should know what was happening, and that if people knew what really happened, what was really happening in South Africa, that would have to make it change. And I think in the end, that is what happened. So Lara Logan is anti-apartheid and spoke out against apartheid, but somehow is still directly implicated in apartheid. And why is she directly implicated in apartheid? Because she's a white South African who grew up when it was going on. So obviously she's directly implicated in it, and she is as much to blame as the people who came up with the legislation, enforced the legislation, and tried to fight to keep the legislation in place. Can someone explain to me how that is not a bigoted statement to make? But possibly the most disgusting thing you actually said in this video was in the form of a question, and that question was, could Lara Logan's rape be seen as divine retribution? The only logical answer to that question is no, 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 and fucking no, okay? Retribution means vengeance, okay? It means something justly deserved. It means a punishment, okay? Did Lara Logan deserve to be sexually assaulted as a punishment for being a white South African who grew up during apartheid? No, she did not. No more than any woman deserves to be severely sexually assaulted or raped. No woman deserves to suffer that kind of horrific humiliation and degrading attack. And just because she happens to be a white South African doesn't mean she deserves it either. Any sort of insinuation that she deserved this, okay, or this is some sort of divine payment for the fact that her ancestors and her relatives might have played a part in apartheid is absolutely fucking disgusting, okay? If this was divine retribution, do you not think it would have happened to people who actually played a serious part in apartheid, who actually had something to do with it, who wasn't a child growing up during apartheid? I'm sorry, but you are nothing more than a fucking bigot. And for someone who made a whole entire video trying to highlight apartheid and the effect that it had on black people, to turn around and use racism and bigotry directed towards white people is nothing short of fucking hypocritical, okay? Absolutely hypocritical.